up, people? Welcome back to the channel. So as you read the title, this is a investment review. I haven't done one of these in a while because I was kind of preoccupied with a couple other smaller projects, but a lot of those smaller projects are out of the way. Pretty much I am pretty much open myself back up to kind of be able to focus more on the things that are pretty much important, and one of those things is keeping up with some of these investment cards. And this is a little bit of a painful video for me to make because a lot of these cards that I chosen have not played out, and it isn't really it's a little bit of mix of the meta, but it also, a lot of the stuff that I like, a lot of the reason why I chose these cards essentially came true, but certain reprints and then certain situations in the meta kind of kept them from kind of taking over. So if you like what we do here, please feel free to like and subscribe. If not, it is all cool. You know, I'm trying to put out a video every single day this week to kind of promote the channel, trying to get to 500 subscribers. I'm making that a solid goal. We are getting to 500 subscribers. Once I get to 500 subscribers, I will do a very awesome TCG player gift card giveaway. The faster we get there, the bigger I will make the gift card. So the closer we get to that goal, the more I'll start talking about how much I want it to be. But like I said, if you guys want it to be a lot, let's just go ahead and try to get us there by the end of the week. So without further ado, let's get into the video. Leave a like and comments down below. Let's talk about Borrowed Savage Dragon Starlight Rare. I have no regrets for getting this card. Initially, I came in assuming that, okay, the way the meta is going, let me also explain a little bit of my mindset with this card. The way the meta is going is I was assuming that this card was going to be a big player, and to be honest, it is. I was 100% right about that. Both a super heavy samurai before and after the list, and the Vanadium deck play this card. It is very, it is very, very, very useful. Dragon Link plays this card, so the top 3 combo decks, with also Dragon Link being one of the top decks, and also you could throw in Vanadium in there because that is a very fierce deck that, if you do not respect, will very much take you out. Those are very much those are like 2 meta decks and like 3 very powerful decks that use this card on top of other natural synchro strategies. So I was 100% right about this card. I was 100% right about this card being as used as much as it is. I bought it around like the 250 range. I didn't get a chance to go back to the video, but I'm just gonna say I bought it for $250, and unfortunately, it is down. It is down to $217. It's not down that much, so I didn't really lose too much of it. But getting announced as getting its quarter century secret rare really hurt this specific version's value, and the reason why is because the quarter century secret rare is pretty much seen as the budget Starlight rare. It's like okay, but basically I'm trying to explain this. It's seen as a budget Starlight rare, but it's also a limited release budget Starlight rare. It's and it also isn't like the tins to where there's a copy in every single in every single box of in every single box there's going to be a copy of this card. It is essentially like you have to pull this card, so there is like some RNG to get this card, but at the same time, it's also only going to be released for this year, so there's going to be hype for there's going to be hype for it. So it's not going to be a cheap card, but it's also going to compete for the top spot that this card essentially had. Like, the Starlight version was the top version of Savage Dragon. Now that it's not going to be the top version, it's people kind of started to shy away from it. The chart's not really showing it, but if you can see in the price right here, 217, 217, 217. And in all honesty, I really do feel strong about Savage Dragon. I feel like Savage Dragon is going to be in the meta, similar to Apollosa, to where it's like, that's like the go-to Link monster negate, because it's generic, it's very easy to get out, it's good in a lot of situations. Similar to Borrowed Savage Dragon, it's generic, very easy to get out, good in a lot of situations. So I can very much see this card kind of taking back off. Unfortunately, maybe not to the. I kind of thought that maybe this card would kind of. I was being a little ambitious with it going to the $400 to $500 range. I was kind of assuming that with how many people were gonna need this card and how popular it's gonna be, I was assuming that this card was going to kind of be in that $400 to $500 range. But like maybe I'll be lucky for it to kind of slowly trickle back up. It close to 400, maybe get to 400, but I really don't see it going any higher than 4. I'm probably gonna wait till it reaches that level and kind of try to get my money back on it. The same thing with the Starlight is also similar with the you know, like with the regular version. Another thing I want to point out, it wasn't just the like it wasn't also just, you know, it isn't also just the fact that like it is getting used and it's getting its quarter century reprint, and it's, you know, it's reprint in general. Another thing is decks that use this didn't become like the top dog deck. It was like it wasn't like it wasn't like any kind of synchro strategy or Manadium or Super Heavy Samurai, especially because of the list. The list was another huge thing. The list kind of nerfed Super Heavy Samurai to where like okay, it became kind of like a more mid deck than like the top tier threat that it was supposed to be. So the fact that like it is, so the fact that only one of the top tier decks use it, and then it's using other maybe like tier 1.52 decks, kind of really hurt the value. I did buy a couple of copies when when they were kind of in more of the $12 range, and they're going down now. So like I kind of like, I pretty much cleaned my hands with them and I got rid of them. I didn't lose any money on these copies right here, but I think I still have a prismatic because I do have a little bit of faith in that one. But in all honesty, like this did not take off the way the way that I wanted to. I'm still gonna hold strong on the Starlight because this is the highest. This is the highest rarity, and I will hold strong on the high rarities. But you know, like, but because I want to like be able to invest in other cards and I want to kind of move my money around, I essentially kind of just got rid of, you know, I got rid of my secret rare copies and my ultra rare copies of this card and just kept the prismatics and the Starlight ones, which is, I only have like 2 copies right now, so it's like 1 of each. So this one, like, I wouldn't say it was a loss. I was able to sell. I was able to get them the money back that I put into them. But it was more like a waste of resource. There's other cards that I kind of should have gone at. Another thing that I want to talk about that was a waste of resource was Sprite Sprint. So Sprite Sprint, kind of for the same reason of, I was pretty much banking on them taking out Castira and Sprite variant / Sprite deck period becoming the best deck. And that's essentially what happened on paper. But Castira kind of solidified itself and still was a huge meta threat that like not a lot of people, I wouldn't say were prepared for, but not a lot of people could essentially stop. Like there was no stopping Castira, especially when you're running Shifter. If you're running Shifter in the main in this kind of like meta, it's like, okay, it's like GG, game over. You're running Shifter, like, unless your opponent plays like some type of Floodgate or they play the Baguska and you don't have the out to it. That's kind of the only way you're not losing to Shifter. So with that being said, plus we got the looming tens. This is probably going to be in the tens. The card has just completely nosedived. I bought this in like the $14 range, $15 to $14 range. I got them for 14 a piece, but now they are just kind of crashing. They are very much crashing. There's a point where they kind of came back up, and I thought they were going to start a resurgence, but then it kind of just started to mount, and then it's kind of going back down. You get these for like $10.95, $9.96. You get them for like $10 a piece. I bought them. I'm losing $4 like a piece on them right now. I didn't get that many, like, thank you. I only got 2 sets of this card, and I sold a set of them, so I only have a set left. And I'm thinking about it, and I'm probably just going to take the $4 loss on each of them, just so I could put the money back to buy some other cards. I have a couple of other cards that I want to talk about in this video and in a different video, but I still haven't picked them up yet, so I don't want to put them out there. So Sprite Sprint is one card that I was very hyped on, and I was right about it. Sprite did become one of the best decks, but unfortunately with Shifter and the fact that like Castira was still so dominant, it just didn't take the spots that I wanted to, making Sprite Sprint not take off. It just didn't take off the way that I thought it would. Assault Synchron. Okay, so we're now kind of shifting from the cards that I picked previously that kind of weren't hits. Another thing on the channel, I want to like promote transparency. I don't want to just sit there and constantly talk about me, constantly making money, constantly, like getting pluses, constantly picking the right cards, constantly getting good stuff in my packs. I want to show the times that I don't get things that I'm wrong. And so, we're pretty much done with, the stuff that I chose that didn't kind of pan out. But now we're kind of going into some other cards that I'm feeling a little bit strong about. Unfortunately, I missed the lowest point of this card. This card at one point was going for $5.38, and I wanted to pick him up at this point. but by the time I got to them, they kind of already shot up, and I ended up picking a lot of these at about the $6 to $7 range. So I have a couple of them that I got for like 6. I also had I had a set where I had to pay almost $9 a copy for, just because I wanted, it's because it was the last set that was available, and I just wanted just to get them just so I could get out of the place. But right now they're holding at $8.88. So they're holding pretty close to $9, and in all honesty, like they're you know, let's just say they're $8 a piece right now. I could see Assault Synchron taking off. Like, I talk about that a lot, and I know like I talk about the other cards taking off, but like Assault Synchron is very new. There's a lot of different decks that could use it, a lot of different decks that could abuse it. You got the Dragon Link deck that's, you know, been around forever. You got the Vanadium that's also been around. So you got a lot of avenues that could take advantage of Assault Synchron. If you have them, I just wouldn't get rid of them. I wouldn't buy a whole bunch right now, because if you go to your locals, you're probably gonna pay $8 to $9 like a piece for them. And like you know, if you're trying to buy a lot, if you're trying to buy the last set, just you know, just to get a few, okay, just go ahead and buy the last set. But if you if you know they have like a whole bunch of sets that try to sell for $9, then it's not really like a steal out there. Probably try to trade for these. Try to accumulate these. I could see these doubling in price, or maybe even going to like $15 a piece, maybe even 12. If they go to 12, if you buy them for like 7 a piece and they go to 12, I would just sell them at that point. But I could very much see Assault Synchron being a card that people kind of, I wouldn't say sleep on, but people kind of think that, okay, yeah, it came out, it had hype, no one cares about. And then, you know, maybe like a set or two later, out of nowhere, some type of strategy comes out, and this card just kind of like, I'm gonna skyrocket in air quotations, but that is possible for a card like this. Super Polymerization is a very interesting card right now. So it started very high, and then it, you know, did the nosedive, because that's what it does, and then it kind of went down to about 256, and it stabilized. It's stabilizing right now at about 260, 261, 290, almost $3. In all honesty, if you look at the other versions of Super Polymerization, a lot of the other versions, so you got the ultra rare, the Dude, this one is 253, but that's because Dude has a lot of, like, you know, really like issues with the quality of the cards. And then you got this premium gold, but like, you know, premium gold, that's like, okay, that's premium gold. The only other ones that are similar to price to this secret rare are common ones. All right, common. This super rare, about the market price about 485. No, honestly, when we're looking at secret rares, we're looking at 449. We're looking at $4. I would not be surprised if this card starts to slowly creep up to a $4 to $5 price point. If you pulled a bunch of these, just put them to the side. This is one of those cards where it's kind of like a no-brainer. Just don't trade them. Don't don't sit there and go buy them for don't go buy like 20 sets for $2, for $2 a piece. But if you can find someone who's willing to sell them for like $1 a piece, okay, buy like 9 sets. These are those type of cards that get reprinted. People forget about them, and then when we get into a format where we 100% need board breakers, or we have cards that are just that you just cannot deal with, Super Poly kind of comes to the rescue and becomes that sneaky tech choice that kind of really makes things come together. So I would not be surprised if this secret rare version goes to $5. So if you have these, hold on to them. If you could get them for maybe $4 for a set, I would start buying them, because like I said, there's a potential these go to $4 a copy. If you could buy a set for $4 and then maybe a couple months later sell them for $4 a piece, that'd be dope. Unless they get another reprint, I would love to get these secret rares. I have a couple. I want a couple more. So this is something that I'm going to start buying. I'm going to slowly start trying to get $4 playsets. And then also another thing I want to talk about is the quarter century secret rare. So this right here, it is, I don't want to say it's low. It isn't low per se, because it was higher, but now it's kind of going down. If these go to the $40 to $30 range, I'd be very interested in buying these out. Why? For the same thing I just said. Unless Konami kind of hits them on the ban list. The ban list is the ban list. The ban list does what it does. You can't help the ban list. But if Konami keeps this card off the ban list, knowing that you need powerful cards to combat the board, then let's just go ahead and assume that the quarter century rare of this card, if it stays at 3, will be a very nice, maybe like it could even double in price right here. We're looking at a potential of like $100 to $120. Like I really do like this card because this essentially becomes the highest rarity of super polymerization. Like even if you get a ultimate rare version, like is there an ulti? I don't think there's an ulti super poly. I'm thinking right now in my head like you know, maybe I'm tripping. I'm doing some other shit right now. So like I'm assuming that there's no ulti super poly. But if there's not, I really like this as a potential pickup if this goes below 40. If you get these for like between $35 to $45, I think this is a good card. Kind of a card to start looking at it. Like just kind of keep an eye on every day. If you see this card slowly start to go down, I would consider buying like maybe at least a playset of this card, because this card could be the next like really good board breaker if we go into a board breaker meta. Alright guys, that's it for the video. Remember, I am not a financial advisor, so like you know, this is not anything, you know, this is not a financial advisor channel. I am not telling you what to do with your money. These are all suggestions. These are all things that I'm thinking about doing, things that I am currently doing. So like I said, take this with a grain of salt, and don't you know come at me if you spend $1 million on some super polys and it don't work. That's not on you. You know, I mean, that's not on me. That's on you. Like I said, these are just my personal opinions. You know, kind of like what I'm looking at, kind of going out with these different cards. Kind of also think about it like, you know, you can never also be right. Like Borderless Savage Dragon, I feel like is gonna make a rebound, but right now I am taking an L on him right now, similar with these ones and with the sprints. So that's kind of the thing with investing. Like it is very much a gamble. You want to make sure that you have extra money. You don't want to gamble with the money you need to live. So that's just what I want to put out there. Alright guys, peace out, and I'll catch you in the next one.